Well, alright, so I'm originally from Florida. I moved out here in 2010, summer of 2010, and I first got kind of kicked out of my place and became homeless in April of 2011. So somehow through that, I can't really remember because it was like September of last year, but someone sent me this report in an email, and I don't remember who it was, but this is written by the ACLU, the Southern Oregon chapter, a guy by the name of Paul Moss, David Berger, and Ralph Temple. They're lawyers, and it explains why Ashland's camping ordinance is unconstitutional, why there's case law, why it doesn't even go along with Oregon statutes, and international law, the International Declaration of Human Rights. So it kind of gave me like a legal reference and argument to think about with this issue of camping prohibited, which is what the ordinance is called. I've been advocating and organizing and doing everything I could, and I went to City Council in November of last year and told them, you know, when I got a hold of this report in September or October, I told them about the report, and I quoted some stuff from them, and I said, you know, your camping ordinance it's unconstitutional because you're denying the person the right to sleep, and sleeping is a human necessity, and you're saying that either you have to get out of the city limits or you're, you know, illegal. And that causes some problems, and, you know, it just pushes them off to other cities like Medford who already have problems, or it pushes them in the BLM land and the watershed, which is a safety hazard. And it's just, you know, it's discompassionate. It's really just the wrong approach to it. It's just, and I don't know if you know about the exclusionary zone that's coming up. It's stepping up enforcement for a law that was already wrong to begin with. So it's like I said, it's just what's been going on in the City Council it's discompassionate, and it's a contradiction of values, because the people of Ashland have shown continually through the services they provide to the poor, to the people without shelter and without, you know, resources and basic access to stuff. They provide so much, and that's why sometimes homeless people come to Ashland, is because of that. And yet you have a City Council which is, you know, has been against that kind of inclusion, and now obviously with the inclusion, or the exclusionary zone, kind of shows their lack of compassion. Yeah, and like I said, this report gave me a legal argument with a couple of court cases, one of them being the Jones versus City of Los Angeles, which was a court decision in the 9th Circuit Court, which also covers Oregon and all the West Coast. And it was in 2007, and there was a homeless person who got fined for sleeping on a bench, and they went to court over it in lawsuit, and the ACLU took it up, and eventually went to the circuit court, and they ruled in favor of Jones and said that you can't make sleeping illegal if you don't have a shelter for them to sleep at. You know, okay. Sleeping is a bodily function, a necessity of human life. It's the 8th Amendment of the Constitution that it violates, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. And if you're fining somebody, you know, money, even if it's just a fine, let alone, you know, arresting them for doing what they have to do as a human being to be alive, you're violating the 8th Amendment of the Constitution. I'm sure there's at least, you know, a handful of other people sleeping illegally right now in the city, and some of them might be getting fined, some of them might, you know, good spots. I know, I've seen them around. I've been out here before late at night, and I've seen there's a huge population of people who are without permanent shelter. It's this whole kind of mass hysteria that's rising up because of the you know, fear level is rising. Basically, people are really scared they're going to lose their jobs or be kicked out of their homes, and they're not knowing where they're going to get their next meal from. So yeah, I'd like to see that turn around. I'd like to see, we have to start from a place of compassion, and then we can have, you know, things like equality and justice. And people don't want to make the real investment that it would take to help these people out, and they'd rather, you know, just kind of ignore it and slowly kind of sweep it under the rug and push it away. And it's sad, you know, because these are human beings, and, you know, I know them, and I know their faces, and I know their stories.